This video presents an overview of the Consultation Impact Analysis Statement prepared to consider options to implement independent onboard monitoring in Queensland's trawl fisheries. Queensland's trawl fisheries are the state's most valuable commercial fisheries. Our trawl fishery is already leading the world in adopting technologies that give consumers confidence they are buying sustainably sourced seafood. While the Queensland trawl fishery has existing processes that support the collection of accurate information, there are still challenges with the validation of some data, specifically interactions with protected species and bycatch. This is because protected species and bycatch are discarded while fishing at sea, and there are no mechanisms currently in place to validate or monitor these interactions. To improve accuracy and confidence in the commercial fishing data used to manage our fisheries, Fisheries Queensland are considering options to introduce improved monitoring and independent validation methods across priority trawl fisheries. During the consideration of these options, we have used the results and recommendations from an 18-month-long onboard camera field trial. This trial was delivered to support the testing of various electronic monitoring systems across commercial trawl fishing vessels. We have considered the results from this trial and undertaken an analysis of potential program scenarios to develop recommendations that meet the requirements and expectations of key program drivers. There are several drivers behind the need to introduce methods that can independently validate commercial fishing data, especially interactions with protected species. The primary driver is the need to improve the accuracy of commercial fishing data. With accurate data, we can be confident that reliable information is being used to inform evidence-based management decisions. Another driver includes conditions of Commonwealth Government approvals issued under the Environment Protection and Biodiversity Conservation Act. These approvals are required for fisheries that export their product and interact with protected species when fishing in Commonwealth waters. Other drivers include recommendations in the Reef 2050 Long-Term Sustainability Plan and recommendations from UNESCO to protect the Great Barrier Reef. If no action is taken to improve the independent validation of commercial fishing data, export approvals may be lost and commercial fishing access to valuable fishing regions within the Great Barrier Reef Marine Park may be reviewed. The process of developing or implementing any new program requires careful evaluation of potential impacts, costs, and benefits. An impact analysis statement is a formal assessment of a regulatory proposal. It is designed to help government, the public, and impacted stakeholders understand the problem being addressed and any impacts associated with viable options. An impact analysis statement evaluates a range of options and compares the costs, benefits, and impacts of each option. It ensures that any regulatory decisions are guided by strong evidence, thorough analysis, and consultation, giving stakeholders the opportunity to provide feedback and contribute to the design of a program that is workable and fit for purpose. For more information on the Impact Analysis Statement process, visit the Queensland Treasury website or search online for Better Regulation Queensland. To support the consideration of options to introduce improved monitoring and independent validation methods, Fisheries Queensland have prepared a Consultation Impact Analysis Statement. The Consultation Impact Analysis Statement considers options that meet the objective of government action, that is, to maximise the social, economic and ecological values of Queensland's fisheries resources through improved monitoring and independent validation of commercial fishing data. The Consultation Impact Analysis Statement is recommending the implementation of an independent onboard monitoring program consisting of electronic monitoring systems across the East Coast otter trawl fishery and the commercial finfish trawl fishery. It proposes the implementation of a program over 4 years, prioritising e-monitoring systems onboard vessels that are responsible for the most fishing effort. A select percentage of camera footage recorded during fishing operations would be reviewed to validate interactions with protected species. Costs to implement the independent onboard monitoring program are proposed to be covered by government for 4 years, a review to be undertaken after 2 years of implementation to inform the ongoing costs and management arrangements of the program. Independent onboard monitoring involves the use of electronic monitoring systems to validate commercial fishing interactions with protected species and bycatch. Electronic monitoring systems consist of digital cameras installed on board a commercial fishing vessel, with the cameras programmed to automatically record fishing activities. Video footage is captured during at-sea fishing operations, generally during the times when fishing apparatus are being used and any interactions with protected species or bycatch are able to be recorded. The recorded camera footage is later reviewed and compared against the fisher-reported logbook information. The comparison of review outcomes with fisher-reported information supports the independent validation of commercial fishing data. Implementing an independent onboard monitoring program will not only improve the accuracy and confidence in commercial fishing data, but also enhance transparency and community confidence that commercial fishing operations are sustainable. It will also support industry to adopt innovative technologies and processes and maintain access to export markets and valuable fishing grounds. For more information about the use of electronic monitoring systems and how they are used as part of the Independent Onboard Monitoring Program, you can visit the Online Engagement Hub website. It is important to note that no final decisions have been made. An online survey has been prepared to support submissions and seek stakeholder feedback on the options considered and proposed under the Consultation Impact Analysis Statement. Fisheries Queensland will also be delivering online information sessions and attending major ports across the East Coast to support the coordination of feedback from impacted commercial fishing stakeholders. Feedback on the Consultation Impact Analysis Statement will be open for at least 4 weeks from the date of publication. Feedback will be used to inform the development of a Decision Impact Analysis Statement. The Decision Impact Analysis Statement will include a summary of the results of consultation and present the final options that achieve the objective of government action. Government will consider the Decision Impact Analysis Statement and make a final decision before any regulations would be prepared, should they be required. To have your say, visit our engagement hub at dpi.engagementhub.com.au. Here you can access the full Consultation Impact Analysis Statement document, as well as additional videos and information, frequently asked questions, and results of the onboard camera field trials that have been delivered. Further information regarding engagement activities, including dates and location of port visits, are available on the Engagement Hub website. More information will continue to be updated on the site throughout the consultation period. People are encouraged to follow the engagement page to receive notifications for any updates. If you have further questions, you can also call 132523 or email datavalidation@dpi.qld.gov.au. Your input is critical to shaping this program. By sharing your thoughts, you can help create a strong, effective, independent onboard monitoring framework that supports industry, communities, and our marine ecosystems.